are live in the Mafia Dome with the Don of sports debate, the king of all sports knowledge, even if his brackets were busted and rebusted into smithereens. He still has a few things to say about the Final Four today and the resurgent Brewers, I'm sure, will be on his mind, as well as advice from AJ that everybody lives by. So, with no further ado, he's the one. He's the only. He is AJ Bokey.
What's up, guys? What's up, world? How we doing, everybody?
What's up, world? I like that. You're going global, huh?
How we doing, everybody? No, it's a big time show today. We got Final Four. We got Resurgent Brewers. Well, we'll start with the Final Four. Let's
Okay.
start with. Let's start on the women's side though.
Excellent.
Because it's set.
Yep. Did you watch?
No, I didn't. I watched the Brewer game.
Okay.
But that's a matchup that everybody wants to see.
Well, Margot and I watched. She watched all of both games. I didn't. I only saw part of Texas and South Carolina. It was still close when I had to leave, and then when I came back, I got back just in time for the tip-off of UConn and UCLA.
So it should be a good Final Four. I can't wait to watch on when is it, Sunday night? Yeah.
No, it's tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, it's tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Me.
Yep.
I'm so excited to watch. I love both coaches. Both coaches are great people. They're both great people, and they just know how to develop players, and it's just crazy.
Well, they sure as heck look really well coached. I'll tell you
It's just crazy because, sorry, Jay.
No,
it's just crazy.
Go ahead.
Crazy because you go from Paige. If you're UConn, you go from Paige Beckers to Sarah Strong, who is a freshman, who looks really good too.
She was awesome last night.
She's good. And so that UConn dynasty is not going anywhere anytime soon.
No kidding. And UCLA lost. They got walloped yesterday, but by UConn. But UCLA, they were saying, has all these people coming back next year. Their big one, Betts, is coming back, and her sister's joining the team next year. She's a McDonald's All-American right now.
Yeah.
The championship game tomorrow is 2 o'clock Central Time. It's on ABC.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I can't wait to watch.
Both the defense, the quickness of UConn was too much for UCLA. And I mean, they were just terrific, passing the ball all over the place. And I would say the same. South Carolina was in a dogfight early on, but you could see at one point they had substitute multiple times already, and the announcer said Texas still has its starting five out there, and you knew they were going to get worn down, and they did, and that's what happened.
Exactly. So I'm excited to watch tomorrow afternoon.
Great. Any thoughts on who's going to win?
I can't. I love Dawn, but I can't bet against Gino.
I would say, looking at the teams, South Carolina has to be favored, just because they seem to have more really good players. Yeah. But UConn, man, they're tough. I would take. I bet on. I want UConn, and I bet on UConn.
I'm rooting for UConn because there's a Wisconsin connection. It's not one of mine, but KK Arnold went to Germantown.
Okay.
So she comes off the bench. She comes off the bench. She comes off the bench for UConn. She's their defensive stopper, so it's really kind of cool to see her doing her thing over there, and it's cool. It's cool.
Good. Yeah. I would say.
And I like how the players stay for 4 years. I don't know if that's a rule, but most players you see develop over 4 years.
What is the rule? When can they? Because they kept saying that during the games last night. Well, she said she's coming back, so that at some point they have the option.
Junior year, I think.
All right, I'll look it up while you're yapping. So you're thinking Gino is going to outdo Dawn tomorrow?
Yes, yes, and a classic. It's gonna be a classic battle.
Becker's has not won there yet.
No, Beckers is the only player not to win the national championship in UConn.
That they showed. I can't think of her name right now, but they had a player. They had a bunch of UConn players from the old days there, and they had one. They showed she was one. She was at UConn 4 years, won 4 national championships, and was named the outstanding player of the tournament each of the 4 years.
Brianna Stewart.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
She's a beast.
Is she still playing in WNBA?
Yes, she does.
Who does she play for, AJ?
New York Liberty.
Is she good in the pros?
Yeah, she's really good. In fact, if you remember, they got her, Sabrina Ionescu, and another player. They're all really good. They just won the championship.
They did.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Women's college basketball cannot declare for the WNBA draft until they turn 22 or graduate from a 4-year university, unlike the NBA where players can go pro after 1 year of college.
So they turn 22. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, 22 or graduate from a 4-year college.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So women were good. Anything else you want? Oh, let's talk men. All right. Now let's go to the men's side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what's going to happen?
I like.
Wait. Before you start there, I have a bunch of questions for you. Which game are you looking forward to more? The first game is Auburn and Florida, and the second game is Houston and Duke. Excuse me.
Second one.
Why?
Because I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, the other two are in the same conference.
Yeah, I like the second one better.
Okay.
I think Houston's physicality is going to give Duke problems.
How big? I've not seen Houston play, even though I picked them to go all the way. How big are Houston's? It seems like where Duke really has an advantage over everybody, their guards are huge. How big are Houston's guards, AJ? Are they big enough to handle them?
6'4", but they're physical. So this game, if this game is played in the 60s, Houston wins. If this game is played in the 80s, Duke wins.
Say that again. So 60s Houston wins, 80s Duke wins.
Yes, sir.
Well, what does your gut tell you? Which way you think it's going to turn out?
I think Houston is going to win.
You do? Okay.
I do. I think Calvin's a really good coach, and I think the experience of the Houston guards from last year's team will pay off for them.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Duke is like favored. I'm not sure about how many, but that's not surprising.
I like Houston Auburn in the final.
So you think Auburn's going to beat Florida? What do you know? What the record was against each other this year, AJ?
Split.
Split?
Yeah.
Okay. So they didn't play.
No, they played each other 3 times.
Yeah, they could have played in the tournament too.
Yeah.
So Florida won 2 out of 3 then.
I think so.
They had to have if they played in the tournament because Florida won the tournament, the Southeast Conference tournament.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. So you think? Well, we won't be on again before the championship game for men.
No.
If it's Houston and Auburn, which you're picking.
Yes.
What is your prediction for the final?
Auburn wins.
Bruce Pearl.
I just think Denai Broome is too good of a player.
Did you see his Elite 8 game when he had all that stuff going on? I thought he broke his leg, for God's sakes, at one point.
Yeah, and he came back and hit a 3-pointer.
Yeah, and then his arm looked like it was out of its socket.
Yeah.
Then he came back again.
Yep.
Okay, what if it's Duke and Florida in the final?
I will watch and I'll root for Florida.
What if it's Duke and Auburn?
I'll watch and I'll root for Auburn.
What if it's Auburn-Houston? That's what you said.
I'll watch and I'll root for Houston.
But you think Auburn's going to win that one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. AJ says Auburn and Houston advanced today.
Yeah.
Okay. And any other things you think will happen or to be aware of, or anything about um, for the men's championship today,
I,
for Final Four? Excuse me.
I just think that both games are going to be really compelling. Both games are going to be really good. And I just think that it's going to be really fun. So it should be exciting.
Cool. All right. Enough with college basketball, men's and women's.
Before we get off college basketball, let's throw a quick promo out there from Wednesday's show.
Okay.
Wednesday, for those who don't know, we have special airtime, 2 p.m.
Central.
Wednesday, Central Time, Wednesday afternoon. We're doing a live taping with UWGB assistant and former Kokona High School great Jordan McCabe. Jordan played at West Virginia under Bob Huggins and now is an assistant under Doug Gottlieb at Green Bay. And he's gracious enough to join us on the show. So
I think we're gracious enough to have him.
That too, but
he played for Thuggins.
He did.
He's got a questionable character in my mind.
No. Jordan's a good kid. I met him at a clinic, in October, and he came to my speech and he asked me what I want to do in the future for coaching, and we made a connection and we texted back and forth and throughout the season, and he wants to be on the show. So
nice.
Should be a good show.
Cool.
And he's getting married this summer too. So he's getting married at the All-Stuff in Elkhart Lake. So
nice.
He's gracious enough to join us on the show, and it should be good.
Maybe we can talk him out of getting married.
No. He's getting married in Elkhart.
I know. I know where the All-Stuff is.
No better place to get married in Sheboygan County, if you ask me. So.
AJ. All right. So there's your promo. That's coming Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. We'll be live on CPL YouTube channel, CPL Radio YouTube channel, and on the Cedarburg Library's website, Facebook page.
Yes.
All right. Anything else going on in sports?
Bucks basketball.
Okay.
They're in the chase for fifth.
And?
They're a half game back, but they played the Pistons twice at the end of the year.
How much time is left in the regular season, AJ?
6 games.
So, like a week from tomorrow is the final.
The playoffs begin on the 19th.
Yeah. Well, today is the 5th. So the playoffs begin on the 19th?
Yes.
Okay. So they probably have a little less than 2 weeks left for the regular season.
Well, the play-in tournament is the 15th.
Oh, okay. All right. Is getting the 5th seed a big deal?
Yeah, because you stay out of play in New York. I'd rather play Indiana, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I'd rather play New York.
No, but I don't want to play Brent. With Brunson healthy, we got killed last time we played him. So I think with Bobby back and everybody back, I think I'd rather play Indiana. Revenge sounds cool too. So from last year. So.
Okay, if you say so. All right. What do you think? So you think? Do you think they'll get the 5th seed?
I do, because I think they'll beat Detroit once, which we're gonna win the tiebreaker, and then they'll win. I don't know if they'll lose another game the rest of the regular season.
Okay. Very cool. There's a lot going on basketball-wise this time of year.
Yeah, let's get to baseball though.
Okay. You're the one that's been talking all the basketball.
Like I said, Jack. Like I said, never give up after an 0-4 start.
AJ.
I did say that though. You were the but no, I'm excited.
I'm personally responsible for changing the fortunes of their season. They're 0-4, and I went to the game on Tuesday when they won the first game of the year.
You did go. That's right.
So there, AJ.
Did you get the fancy sweatshirt or no?
No.
That was last night, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, hockey sweater or some sort.
oh,
So
okay.
it was kind of cool. It was cool, but it's fun. They're fun to watch, especially with these pitchers that you don't know their names. It's kind of cool to watch them throw out zeros on other teams. But I don't know how good Cincinnati is. It's only,
Well, people are picking them as a dark horse for the playoffs. That's how good they are.
yeah.
Um, Nestor Cortez, is that his name?
Yeah, he looked good after. Uh, how do we describe that first outing? Just
It's one of
describe
the
it.
worst you've ever seen
Yeah, right.
or heard about.
Yeah, yeah.
He reminds me of a former great. I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but it's a crime that he's not. It's before your time, but in the 70s, there was a pitcher he bounced around, but his name was Louis Tiant. Do you ever hear of Louis Tiant?
Yes, Louisiana. Yes, yes.
Nestor Cortez reminds me a little of both in how he looks away from the home plate when he pitches. If you should go and look at some old vintage tapes of Louis Tiant,
Uh,
and then we'll talk about it. But and he's also got the same kind of build that Louis Tiant had. Little, he's good thing he's a pitcher and not running around in the outfield because he wouldn't get too many balls.
yeah, right. Right. No, but they go. They have two more games with Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have Colorado next week.
Here or away? Do you know?
There,
Okay.
which only makes sense because they've now played 7 games in a row at home.
Yeah. Well, they started 4 games away and then 7. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. It'll.
three, 3 games away, 7 at home. They played
Oh, okay. That's right. They lost the first game at home until I went.
Yes, yes. You're
Remember
personally,
that?
you're personally responsible, Jack.
Yeah, I am. So now that they're 4-4, and like you said, it's a long season. Don't give up. Blah 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 blah. Um, what do you think? Are they going to be in it the rest of the way? What do you think's going on?
I think this year the division is bad from what I've seen. I mean,
The what is bad?
the division.
Oh,
The Cubs are decent. The Cardinals they got spanked yesterday
they should.
by the Red Sox.
They
Um,
should.
but I think the division is going to be pretty average the rest of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if 85 wins gets it done.
85 wins.
Yeah, yeah. Which isn't that many.
That's not that many. Shit, the Brewers only need 81 more.
Right. That's my point.
What? Okay, outside of our lousy division, and besides listeners being able to know what's going on with the game for the first time in 40 years on Brewers broadcasts,
Yeah, right.
what struck you? Anything strike you about Major League Baseball's first week, AJ?
There were two undefeated teams in the same division. San Diego didn't lose till yesterday. Neither did LA. So they were in the same division. That was very, very, very striking to me.
I got to take I got to take credit for San Diego. I've been wearing my Padres hat, so that's why they're winning.
They didn't lose till yesterday.
I didn't have it on yesterday.
But they were on MLB Network yesterday, so I had it on.
Oh, cool. They lost guys in free agency too.
Yeah, they did, but they spent a lot of money to keep guys too.
Okay, how are they going to? Are they going to make the playoffs?
I would think so. Their back end of their bullpen is really good. Although, yeah, yesterday was an aberration because they were awful yesterday. But
aberration! Quit using those big words, for God's sake. This is a sports show.
Yeah, I know.
All right, cool. So San Diego, and what about Atlanta? All I'm seeing is how bad Atlanta's doing.
They're awful. They're awful. I don't know if they won yesterday, but if they did, it was their first win of the year.
Well, what's his name's coming back in May, I think. Acuna?
Yeah.
And what's the pitcher, Strider?
Strider's coming back in mid-April.
Yeah. Let's see.
But they're still 1-7. They're hitting 151 as a team.
The Braves are 1-7. Yep. And they're playing the Marlins today at 6:15.
Yeah, they're still hitting 151 as a team. So
the headline from yesterday's game was Schwellenbach's superb 10K start sends Braves to season's first win. Do you know who Schwellenbach is?
I heard his name on the broadcast last night, and I don't know who he is.
He's a starting pitcher. I just didn't know if you had heard of him, but obviously not. Okay. And it says here, Braves Spencer Strider looks his best yet in latest rehab starts, so he's got to be getting close.
All I gotta tell you, Jack, is I don't feel sorry for the Atlanta Braves with all the injuries the Brewers have right now. I don't feel sorry for them at all.
What is it with the Brewers? How can they always have so many injuries?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's Atanasios' fault. He doesn't spend enough on facilities, trainers.
He spent enough on scoreboards with him.
Because he wants to see his own puss on there.
You said it, not me.
I know. I'll say it again.
No, but seriously, it's crazy. It's just Tobias Myers is hurt. Quintana hasn't pitched yet.
What is wrong with Tobias Myers?
Oblique.
Oh, God. These wimpy players these days, when I was a kid, nobody even knew what an oblique was. It's you get out there and throw the ball.
Right. If you pull something, you pull something, right, Jack?
That's right. Rub some dirt on it.
Right.
An oblique strain, that's the thing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's the only sport I've heard of where you can strain an oblique.
That's what I think of the Brewer season. How's it look? Oh, bleak.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, they got Joey O. Joey O's off to a cold start, but he's a hell of a player.
Well, they got two. They got two for the first time in franchise history. The Brewers have two Gold Glovers playing defense. Frelick and Terang.
Last night, 2 nights ago, we had the first Cincinnati game on for a while. But they used a term I hadn't heard. It was a Cincinnati broadcast. And they used the term, they said that last year, Bryce Terang got the Platinum Glove.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard of the Platinum Glove before?
Yes, it's the best defender in the league. He goes to the best.
Regardless of position.
Yes, sir.
So he got the best defender of anybody in the National League last year.
Yes, sir.
In his second full year.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
And his bat's coming around too. He's got 2 homers already in the year.
Yeah. So back off on the Brewers, man. I told you they're going to come around.
Yeah. Right.
All right. How does what's his name doesn't look so hot? Yelich.
No, he looks old.
Yeah, he looks a little frail. I'm sure that takes a long time, if ever it comes back. That back comes back.
Yeah.
How old is he, AJ? Do you know?
He is 32. He's a year younger than me.
32. You're 33?
Yep.
You old fart.
Yep.
Man.
33. Actually, Yelich, Giannis, and myself share the same birthday month.
3 champions right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from baseball strike? How's have you heard anything about Willie Adams? What he's doing out in San Fran? How he's doing?
Willie Adams. No, they're okay. They're okay, but he's driving in runs like usual.
He's a good player. Do you think that is going to cost them letting him walk? Or do you think they with their plan of how they replaced him? Do you think he'll be all right? What do you think, AJ?
Well, I'm not going to sit on the fence on this one. I think Joey O is going to be a really good player. I think the Brewers kind of, won that trade. If you look at me, if you ask me, and Corbin had a great year for the Orioles, but he walked after 1 year. So he signed a 6-year deal with Arizona. So
yeah.
So he walked after 1 year. So the Brewers really kind of won that trade, if you ask me. But it's all good. I mean, Joey O's going to be a really good player. And I think that they'll be really solid defensively for a while with the young cats they have on defense.
Okay. Willie Adames was a good Brewer, and he was a good guy.
He was.
he was very enthusiastic, upbeat attitude all the time. Sheer numbers. Do you want to guess? I'll give you if you get within 10 points of his career batting average. After, let's see, 125. He's been playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's on his 8th season in the majors.
240.
His career is 247. Well done. He played 4 seasons for Tampa before, no, 3.5 before he came during the year. And then he played 3.5 for Milwaukee. And now he's in his first season with San Fran this year. 30 at bats, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 RBIs, 200 average so far. Like you said, it's way early.
The one thing people don't take into account too. That's a pitcher's part. That's not an offensive player's part.
What?
No, San Fran?
Yeah, I know. It used to be a pitcher's park when it was a candlestick, but they hit those balls out in the harbor, for God's sakes. Well, how close is that fence?
They still got the high wall. That's still over a high wall, though.
So what?
But I do give them credit because Buster Posey is not their GM. So.
And do you think that's a good move?
I think that's a good move for them. A
Okay.
player with that kind of World Series experience, I believe that's a good move for them.
Just because you're a player doesn't make you a front office person.
But he was a catcher, so he had to think the game through.
Well, you got an answer for everything, don't you? Who is your favorite? Who is your player of all the players in the major leagues this year?
Yeah.
If you say, who would you like to watch during the game? Who would it be? Or give me a couple if you can't decide on one.
Both the Cruzes from Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Who's the Cruz in Pittsburgh?
O'Neill.
Oh yeah. She's shortstop too, right?
He plays outfield now. They went to the outfield because of his arm. And his ears. Ellie De La Cruz from Cincinnati. He's pretty good.
That guy's got the chains going, man. I don't know. I know he's really fast. If he did just go to half of the chains that he wears around his neck, he'd never be caught anywhere. He'd be able to get inside the park home run on a single.
You're right.
He's a hell of a player.
There's one other guy. Non-Brewers, there's a couple. Jackson Merrill's a really good player from San Diego.
You know who I never got to see, and now he's heard all the time, is Mike Trout.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's really good when he's healthy.
Have you seen him play, AJ, personally?
Yes, not in person,
but yeah, on TV. So what is he? What makes him so good, or what has made him so good?
Speed. That's what hurts him now. His legs are shot because he runs so much. A lot of these guys that come in the league now at 19, they're done by 30. I mean, they're physically done by 30 because they just run so much when you're young.
Well, what about our guy? Is that going to happen to him?
I don't think so because I think he's got more. Trout was more speed and power. Chiro is more. He'll be good because first of all his contract is shorter. It's 8 years, so it's 8 years. It's shorter. Second of all, he doesn't have to play every single day if he doesn't want. We got enough depth that he doesn't have to play every. And they can be unlike when Trout played, they couldn't DH him every day. No, they can't.
They could. He was always on the Angels, American League, dude.
I know, but Trout also had wrist problems, so I'm not too concerned about Jackson.
It also helps Cheerio doesn't have to play center field all the time.
Right, exactly, and that's a deep center field in LA too.
Okay, cool.
But one crazy fact about Mike Trout?
No, I don't know anything about him.
Never made the playoffs in his life.
Well, that I knew. Yeah. He's
from Philly though, so.
How are the Phillies doing so far? Do you know?
They're really good. They traded they lost their closer in the offseason to the Royals though.
Yeah.
Carlos Estevez.
Why'd they let him go?
He was a trade from last year.
They spend the money too. Philadelphia spends some money. Mets, Yankees, Dodgers. Those,
Dodgers.
those got to be the top four payroll.
Arizona spends their money too.
Arizona. Now they are. They haven't. But now they've made some big moves.
They just signed Cartel Marte and he just got hurt. They signed him to a 6-year deal and he just had a hamstring pull yesterday.
That's my dream job, where I can just say, "Oh, my hamstring hurts. I'll just collect my 80 million for this year."
Yeah, right, exactly.
And they got Corbin Burns. That was a big move.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
How was that? Is it Corbin Carroll?
He's solid. He's
He
very
had a
speedy.
great. He was rookie of the year, but last year he struggled. For him, not
He's very
terrible.
he's very speedy. His power's not there, but his power's not always there. But he's very fast, and uh, they're young too. It seems like there's no old teams in MLB anymore. They're all, they're all young.
They're all young.
Most teams are younger. I should say.
Okay. Are you? I will say, going to the game, it's unbelievable what a difference that pitching clock has made in the pace of the game.
The speed of the game,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh
Yes.
God, it was just unbearable before.
Yesterday's game was 2 hours long. There was an NBA game that was shorter.
What was the score yesterday?
3-2.
Ooh, good pitching for the Brewers again.
Yeah, they were up one of the Cincinnati Reds hadn't scored in 35 innings and scored 2 in the ninth.
In the ninth.
Two in the eighth.
2 in the eighth. Okay. All right. Last thing about baseball.
Nothing. We're good.
No, I'm telling you, this is gonna be the last thing. I'm not.
Go ahead.
You don't get to run the whole show, for God's sakes.
Go ahead.
Who do you think you are? A big star? You think you're going to be on Fox 6?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's true.
Who is your MVP for the Brewers so far this year?
Bryce.
Bryce Trang?
Yep.
Okay. He's pretty solid.
Because he can move around the order and still produce.
That's good.
Produce with the gloves too.
Cool. All right. Any other sports you would like to talk about? Is it next weekend the Masters?
Yes.
Okay, next we got the Masters coming up.
And the agent will be gone because he'll be going to the Masters.
Is he? Has he gone before?
No. Well, he's gone before, but not for work.
He's going for work?
Yes.
Cool.
He's going Thursday and Friday of next week.
Ooh, I may text him. I want to ask him to get me a hat. I'll even pay for it.
He's going to go home. He's going to be home on the weekend. So he'll be on Thursday, Friday next week.
Nice. Good for him. Hey, Masters coming up in tennis. The French Open's just around the corner. That'll be cool. And there's no... what's his name?
And it's on TNT this year.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, and you know what else is just right around the corner?
What?
Stanley Cup playoffs, dude.
Yes, yeah. I'm picking the Devils this year.
What?
Yep.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Yep.
Why are you picking the Devils this year?
Because
who went to UW Whitewater who plays on the Devils?
Because they were mentioned on the TNT NBA broadcast. That's the only reason I'm picking them.
Oh God! I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs.
No. I'll take no. You know what? I'm taking Minnesota.
Minnesota? Why?
Because I can watch their games on TV.
I think they've had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
This is the year, finally. Mark my words. The first time in like half a century, the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup this year.
Wow.
Mark my words. Usually you're the one who makes the bold, crazy statements that never come true. It's my turn. Okay, dude. You know what time it is?
before we get off the air, man, before we start Words of Wisdom, I want to make it. It's Bo's 11th month today.
Oh, almost a year. Wow.
A year next month.
Just think, AJ, he has not been alive a year yet, and he's already, you can't even remember what it was like without him.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It is crazy. All right. Before we do the words of wisdom,
Yes.
let's have an update on when you were interviewed by Tim Van Voren, right?
Tim Van Warren. Yes, I want to get that out there. Tim
Yes.
Van Warren. Tim just texted me yesterday,
Okay.
and he said it will come out the week of the draft.
Okay. Now, back up. So, again, for people who aren't familiar or aware, AJ is going to be on Fox 6 Milwaukee affiliate, Channel 6.
Yep.
There, I think it's WITI.
Beyond the Game.
On the game. And what is the game, AJ?
Beyond the Game is a segment they do.
Oh, Beyond the Game. Okay.
It's a segment they do with high schoolers or whoever, and it goes deeper than just like the outcome of a sporting event.
Mm-hmm.
It's all beyond that segment. Like, for example, they did a story on. They did a story on the guy from the Chiefs who plays center, who's from Brookfield.
Oh.
Before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So they did a story on his parents, and they're supporting him. So it was. I mean, I looked up some. It's kind of cool. It'd be fun. It'll be a real fun segment. I'm waiting for it to come out because I'm excited to share my story with the state and all across the world. It'd be fun.
Cool. Okay, so it's going to be the week of the draft, and the draft is like the last week in April, right?
Thursday the 24th.
So it'll be, if Thursday is the 24th, then your thing could be on anywhere from the 21st, which is Monday, 22nd is Tuesday. It's on every night, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be on either the 21st or the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd. I don't think they're going to air it during the draft.
No. Do you know, is Beyond the Game, is that during a certain time news, like 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock news. Okay. On WITI Channel 6, it's a Fox affiliate here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes. It's also and Tim said Mickey, the camera guy, is on vacation. So Mickey is going to get back, and then they're going to air it because they both have to be in Green Bay for the draft.
Cool. All right. Well, let us know. As soon as you know, we'll spread the word. So you got a lot going on in AJ's life. Now, what do you have for us for advice today, AJ? What is it connected to?
It kind of goes back to the interview and just like everything that's going on with having Jordan come on. Just realize how blessed you are, man. Because, it's not because of the person. It's not because of my accolades that all these people want to come on. It's because of.
How's it me?
It's because of you and because of how I treat people.
It's true. That's true. I was kidding, but you're serious and you're right on.
Yeah.
Because of how you treat people.
Yeah. So it's because of how I treat people that everything's not about me. It's because of how the type of person I am. So I don't want to toot my own horn, but treat people the right way, and you never know what's going to come back at you. I didn't expect Jordan to say, "You host a podcast? I want to be on," or "You're on a podcast? I want to be on," or Tim Van Warren to say, "I want to do a story on you." I wasn't expecting any of this. It just comes with the nature of being nice to people.
And being nice to people and consistently over a long period of time.
Yeah, right. Like before the story came on, I hadn't seen Tim in almost 2 years. Or Jordan since October. We've just kept in contact. And just be nice and just keep in contact with people. Because you never know when they're going to need you or when you're going to need them for something. So
that's an excellent point. Keep in contact with someone. That does not mean to constantly pester and ask them for things. I mean,
No,
be there for someone, be there as a friend, be there to offer help whenever it's needed,
right, exactly.
but don't
It does.
always be asking because that doesn't help anybody.
No, 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 no. I this Tim texted me on Thursday, and I said, "Can you just kind of tell me when the story's coming out because my family wants to know." And he's like, "Well, that makes sense." But I don't bug him. Like don't bug the person. Just be consistent. Just be there and be consistent. It's all because you never know what somebody's going through. I'll just give you an example. One of my friends, uh, actually Arthur, if we can mention this on air,
Sure.
Arthur's sister um, has cancer right now. So, but that's not to bug him about it. It's to make sure that he's okay. Make sure that his family's okay. Reach out to your friends. They never know what they're going through. My never know what somebody's going through. So just be there for people. We can make the world a much better and a much smaller place if we're there for people. So, so that's my point today.
That's a good one. Be there for people and not just because you want something. Be there just to be a good person, be nice to people. Don't do it because you'll hope to get something down the road. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. So, like I'm always nice to AJ, and he's never nice to me. But I still am. That
Oh,
doesn't
come
mean
on now.
that doesn't mean I'm not
Come
going to
on
keep
now.
being nice to him.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Good point. Good point, Jared. Good
All
point.
right, one more time. What are your picks today for Florida Auburn?
Auburn.
Auburn in the first game that starts at 5:09 our time, and then approximately 7:49, depending on when the other game ends.
Auburn, Houston.
Houston over Duke. You surprised me with both of those picks, AJ. I'd be great. I would be very happy with that if that's what happened. But I have a feeling it's going to go the other way. I think Florida is going to win the first game, and I think that damn Duke is going to win the second game, even though I don't want him to.
I just think Houston's going to have a huge advantage because the crowd's on the other side.
Yeah, but Duke, that's a private university, and they have a lot of big bucks donors there. They'll be able to travel well. Um,
You know,
the other,
who one of the big donors is, Jack?
who?
Have you ever Ken Jong?
Oh God. I will say that I won't root against Duke as strongly as I used to because I was never a Mike Krzyzewski guy. I always thought he didn't ring true to me as a he just didn't seem like the real deal. I know everybody else says what a great guy, blah 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 blah. Something's wrong there. Anyway, I do like the John Shire, and I don't have anything
he's
against
a
him.
Chicago kid too, so he's a nice kid. He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's Chicago. Doesn't mean it's a knock against him. That's not one in his favor. Who likes anything from Chicago, for God's
Well,
sake?
he's not from Chicago. He's from Naperville.
Yeah, that's even worse. But still, he seems like a good guy. He has had a good head on his shoulders. So if they win, I wouldn't feel badly for him. In fact, it would be good for him because get a little bit out of that Krzyzewski's shadow.
Oh yeah, Jack. I forgot one thing. John Blackwell is going to either come back to Wisconsin or go to the NBA.
When's he going to decide?
Well, he's going to go through the draft process, and go.
Well, if he goes, I wish him well. I love him. He's one of my favorite Badgers ever.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the way he played so hard both ways. Love the guy. Hope he comes back for us, but for him, if it's the best thing for him to go pro, we'll miss him. But best of luck to him.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, great show today, everybody. And
that's because you did all the talking. You say that.
Sorry, Jack.
You're not sorry. You big liar.
I'll let you come up. I'll do some research and send you some questions for Jordan on Wednesday.
I know what I'm going to ask Jordan. What was it like playing for that fat thug, Bobby Huggins?
Hey, we got to be nice now. We got to be nice.
That is being nice. I didn't use any F-bombs. Why did Huggins? He got so fat he had to have a chair up near the scorer's table because he couldn't bitch from the sideline like he was supposed to.
There's one thing I want to ask him that I want. What's it like to be famous at 9 years old?
You can ask him.
Because Jordan was like a ball handling King at like 9.
YouTube sensation, right?
You're right, exactly. And then he went to, West Virginia. Yeah, so.
Well, I'm not going to be nice to him because he played in the game. He beat the Bulldogs in the playoffs one year. I went up to the game and watched it. It was
Oh, he
at
did.
some. It was. I think it was in. It wasn't at Kakana, but it was at. It was at some. I don't know where it was, but
Oh, he
and
did. He did. He
yeah,
did.
yep. He was a good player. They had a good team. Their team was better than the Bulldogs, but
Uh,
I'm still not going to be nice to him.
all right, sounds good.
So
Sounds
you
good.
better be nice for both of us.
I got you. All right, man. See you Wednesday afternoon. Sound good?
Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Don't sleep on it, and we
No,
will
I
have
won't.
this. We will have this link out on YouTube shortly. Anybody who wants to see it, you can see it on CPL's YouTube channel, CPL Radio. It will also be on the Cedarburg Public Library's Facebook page, but you can play it anytime, access it anytime on CPL Radio's YouTube page.
All right, sounds good, everybody.
All
Sounds good.
right. Anyone? What's your one last word for the week, AJ? One word.
One word. Positivity.
That's it from AJ Boki.